Hello guys, welcome to another tier list. The second one in the series that isn't actually a series.
But whatever.
This is all about the tracks now. We've done the one about the characters.
This is arguably the most important part of the game.
Can't wait to see what you guys leave in the comments for that one. It's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a war.
Yeah, I think this is arguably more important than the characters.
Yeah, and I think this is also going to be harder than the characters.
Definitely.
There's probably going to be a lot of
Disagreements.
when it comes to the tracks, for sure.
They're in alphabetical as well.
Yeah. So what we're gonna base it off is how fun the tracks are to drive for online, time trial, how they look, how they feel, things like that. How the track works and drives in general is going to be the main thing that we focus on.
Like how difficult it can be sometimes, how weapons can affect it, just little bits, every track's going to be different, but...
Because we've got a lot of experience in the game, pretty much anything that can happen on the track will have happened to us at some point, so we know what's good and what's bad about each track.
Also how blue fire affects it as well.
Exactly,
like
yeah.
Because some are.
Right, so the first one is Android Alley. I'll let you go first, Luke. What do you think?
You can't get anything else in terms of alphabetical than AA.
True. That's very true.
Right, Android Alley. They changed it a lot from the original. I like the original. Obviously, they cut out the anti-grav bit.
They did.
In it. It runs a lot better than the original, though, in my opinion. And if there was a CNK adventure, it'd have been fun to race Geary on it. I think
that's true.
It's a very good track.
I really like the track. I think it's, for competitive, it's amazing when there's no items. When there's items, it's still very good.
Yeah.
The only issue I have is that half the track doesn't have a fire pad on it, so if you get hit in a bad place, you're pretty much lost.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's a god tier track.
The on-track obstacles, or
the cleaner bots.
Yeah, and the train.
I like them.
It's a good part of the track.
It is. It makes it unique.
The shortcut is not really a shortcut because it's just the way that everyone goes.
Yeah, it's hardly a shortcut if everyone knows it, even without knowing that it's a shortcut.
It's fun to try and optimize as well because you got to jump over gaps on corners and stuff. And it is a very fun track to play.
So where would you place it personally?
I'd put it very good.
Me too. I think it's probably mid-tier very good though.
If
I wouldn't
not
say
pushing up.
Yeah, I'd say it's like somewhere in the mid.
Yeah. Again,
we'll see when we've put everything else in where it
things
fares.
Things will change as we go along.
We might have to move things around.
Yeah.
Next one is Android. No, not Android. We've just done Android. Assembly Lane.
Android Lane.
Right.
Android Ruins.
So Geary's track. No. This track has a very nice flow to it. I really like the conveyor belt section. No other track has that.
The change from the original, getting rid of the pipe that you go on with the anti-grav.
That's true. That's a good addition. I didn't like it.
They changed it and it's amazing.
Way better.
They added a new shortcut on it.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's a good point. They did add a new shortcut that was actually good. It's like a really good shortcut.
Good because you can whack an item on it.
Yeah.
It annoys everyone.
Good for me when I'm in first place, whacking down nitros.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's also a very good track.
It's hard to keep reserves on, which is a good thing. It's got the mud jumps where you jump through, those mud sections.
Tiny arena-esque.
Yeah. I just love the track.
I think it's another very good track.
Yeah, me too. I think Android and Assembly are both on level with each other. I've always thought
tracks.
That. Yeah.
But not Blue Fire tracks.
They're very different, but very similar. It's very strange. Like they've both got very similar,
times.
In
terms of
the turns aren't too angular. They're quite long, sweeping turns.
The lap time. So very similar as well. They're like 2.5 minutes, especially for casual players. It might be 2.
I'd say they're definitely time trial tracks.
Yeah, good fun tracks to play.
Yeah. But yeah, very good, 100% for me.
There's no obviously I think with Android it's a bit different because you have the train and stuff. It's annoying when you're doing time trials and it's in different place, whatever. But it's normally one of those. It's not like RNG. Like if you make a mistake, it's on you.
Yeah.
Rather than the track.
Yeah, I agree. especially because there's no blue fire, which is quite good. I like
exactly,
it.
Exactly.
Only issue, the reason why it's not in God tier is because there's only one boost pad
Yeah, true.
right at the end of the track.
Yeah. I think it's definitely around the mid, very good.
Yeah.
I think I prefer Android, but it's still not far behind.
See, I can't say I prefer it. I'd say they're exactly the same for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Level. This is the one where we're going to disagree.
Yep.
Android app, no, okay. Baron Ruins.
Android Ruins. It's one of my favourites.
It's one of my least favourites.
Also known as Brian.
Brian runs.
Not just Brian Ruins.
Brian runs.
Brian.
He's running.
So for me, it's weird. It's one of my favourites, but I couldn't put it God tier.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I don't think it's one of the worst, but I think it's a very boring track. I don't think there's a lot going on in the track that I like.
I like this section because every single corner has something going on for me. So you go on the first corner, you got the bot that you got to dodge. Then you got the ice, that's annoying. You got the jump going down to the big boulder section.
Yeah.
And then you've got those turns with the annoying. I admit they are annoying. Those little bumps in the road that you can get stuck on, lose your fire.
That do not have the right hitbox for how they look.
That is a negative. And you've got more robots, and you've got the cool section that used to be anti-grav, but they've kept it very similar just without anti-grav because they didn't really need it.
Yeah, true.
And the shortcut is very annoying because if you're behind someone and they're gonna whack an item on it. I like it. It's a bit different. I think
it's quite the opposite.
No.
I think it's not different. I think it's very boring. I'd say it's meh.
Well.
I wouldn't put it get in the bin.
Okay. I'd put it decent then.
Okay, because you want it very good, really,
Yeah.
don't you? So
it's almost God tier for me because I don't know why. I just really.
if it
like
was
running
just
the
me doing it, I'd put it meh and towards the bottom of meh, to be honest, because it's never interested me. I think that's the right word. It's never been an interesting track for me. Moving on to a very controversial one that a lot of people have very different opinions on: Android Alley, Blizzard Bluff.
That's gonna get me every time. Yeah. Alright.
Blizzard Bluff.
As much as I hate running it because it's difficult to get a very fast time, if you make the slightest mistake, you're flying down the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Because it's such a short track. It's the shortest track
in the game.
Apart from recent times, obviously.
That's not the shortest track, though. That's using glitches.
Yeah.
So.
As much as I hate running it, I do like it.
I really like this track.
Yeah.
I think it shows a lot of skill.
It does.
A lot of potential to be lapping people that just don't do shortcuts. Like, they can be fast, they can drift and do really good boosts. If they don't take the shortcuts, they get lapped.
If you don't take any shortcuts but go maximum speed that you can as your ability,
yeah,
you're almost lapping yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy the amount of skill involved.
It's such a weird track. Like, if you're playing online and you're a casual player, you do not want to play this track because someone's going to lap you.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, it's simple, but the original was just snow.
They did a good job making it look good. From what it was.
It looks identical to the original.
It does.
But doesn't.
Yeah, it looks so much better.
Yeah. I'm
putting it very good again. And I'd say it's higher than Android and Assembly, personally.
For the same reasons, I don't like running it, but I love the track.
I understand why people would put it get in the bin.
Yeah.
I really do, because it's so... People who haven't run the track enough say that it's very luck-based.
Yeah. And
say that they can't do it because it's luck-based and they can only get the shortcut every now and again. But once you actually learn it and you know the technique on how to do, say, the proper river jump and the proper fence jump, you get it every time.
Even the first corner.
Maybe you don't get it as fast as you possibly can, but you never fail it unless there's items. Items can make it horrible, but
obviously, if you're doing time trial, you're trying to go optimal. Sometimes you don't care if you missed a boost. You just want to keep going as fast as you can, and it might throw you off.
Yeah, I think the reason why I wouldn't put it God tier is simply because there is a lot of things that can go wrong
Yeah.
in a race, but it's still a lot of fun when you get it right.
I'd put it decent, but I'd also put it very.
Okay.
I'd happily put it in very good. You know, it's in between for me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Clockwork Wumper,
Android Wumper.
Android Alley. What would you do for Clockwork?
I'm not gonna say what. Some people know what you're gonna say anyway.
Yep.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yep.
I do like it, but there are lots of tracks better than it. I think the aesthetic is obviously going because it's a CNK track. It's very similar to the original. They had to change it a little bit. Made it like a Wumper factory. That's cool. I like that idea. It's a bit different. It's a Blue Fire track. Didn't need to be.
Only one Blue Fire pad.
I really think it didn't need to be a Blue Fire track. I think it'd be a lot more fun to play if it was just a regular fire track. Shortcuts, you know, it's just really the ramp and the cogs. The cogs are a bit annoying, especially at the start. The hitbox,
Yeah.
invisible walls.
Mhm.
That was a bit annoying. For me, I'd put in low decent. You absolutely hate it.
Worst track in the game. I prefer Koala Carnival.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay, I almost can't put it in
But
there then.
that's the thing, right? We have to put something or a few of them in getting the pin. That we can't just leave it blank. Even if we think it's better than or not worthy of getting the bin, if it's not better than any of the other ones, it has to go there. And personally, the flow is all wrong. I think there's too many things that were so bad. Maybe not so much anymore. It's been fixed a lot. Like, a lot of the hitboxes have been fixed. But some of the times with the cogs, you don't even touch it and it'll squish you. Like, on those first few corners. And I get that the track is very skillful. Which, you know, I just haven't put the time into it because I've never enjoyed the track.
Yeah.
It's not one of the best tracks for me, so...
I can kind of see it, right? There's a lot better tracks, right? There's a lot.
We'll put it in getting the bin for now.
Okay.
And then if there's some that are like, whoa, this one's worse for you, we'll see. We'll see what we can change it to.
I think it's definitely. I can happily put it in meh. Like, definitely, if you wanted to put it in meh, I'd be like, yeah, fine, whatever, move on. Getting the bin, I'm like, okay, maybe not. We'll come back to it.
Okay. Coco Park.
Prefer the original.
I do too. The original's actually way better. It's a lot of fun.
I'm not a fan of it. I think I like some part, like the aesthetic of it. You know, it's very colourful, a bit different to every other track because everything's very like. A lot of it's industrial or something like that, but this is very like fantasy and. Again, for casuals, they like it a lot because it's very simple.
Yeah.
Half the track's just pointless. Like how wide it actually is. Like no
That's
one's going
very true.
Relics,
it's so wide.
But it's
like
just so unnecessary for anything other than relics.
yeah. Even Ring Rally doesn't utilise it that much.
No. So it's just a lot of space.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it meh.
I completely agree with you there. I think it's not bad, right? It's not terrible.
For time trialing, it's not actually that bad. However, the 150 jump really lets it down. I hate it because it's so orangey. It's just a glitch, so
it shouldn't be a thing.
It's fine. We'll leave it meh. It would be decent, personally, if it didn't have that. I really don't think that should be in the game.
Yeah.
But there we go. Android Alley. Where are we putting Cortex Castle, Luke? Where are we putting it?
I'm gonna say it's my second worst track in the game for my ability.
Okay.
In terms of how much I practiced it.
Okay.
It's probably my second least practiced. Probably my least favourite track in the original.
Wow.
Aesthetically, it was very boring.
It was. In the original, I agree. In this, I like it.
In this, as a actual... To actually drive around it with all they've done, with the just simple change that they needed actually fix, because like the inside glass section, you know, with the shortcut before the blue fire pad at the end. That simple things, they've added the extra bits to it and whatnot, and it's made it a lot better for me. I just don't do well on the track, so that puts it down for me personally. But putting that aside, it's at least decent, almost very good for me. I think for me, in Hub 4, the other 3 tracks are better.
Yeah, I agree. The other 3 tracks are better.
So I'll put it decent.
Yeah.
Again, I probably like it more, but only just in very good, maybe, if I actually played it a lot and practiced it, which I need to do.
Yeah.
So.
Now this one...
Trash Cove.
Trash Cove. For me personally,
just been grinding it.
I have completed this track now. I got the 117. I'm never playing it again on time trial. I'm never playing it again on Ring Rally.
Trying to never play it again online.
I'll play it again online if I have to. I don't like it. I never have. I think it's meh.
I thought you were
Close
to
getting in the bin.
I thought you were going to say get in the bin. But I also agree with meh.
I think it's kind of boring.
I just wish they utilised the pirate ship you can go on off the bridge more. It's just there for no reason. It's just a...
Yeah. It's just a collect the Beanox crate.
Like, in the original you could go on it, and I was like, why am
Spoilers, I know, sorry, if you haven't collected the Beanox crates yet.
It's
but
there.
It's on the ship.
It's behind the mast. Why is it there in the original? They've got the bridge.
It's not there in the original.
You can go on the ship.
I don't think there's a ship there.
You can go on the bridge. I swear there's the ship. I swear you can go on it. But the bridge, the T on the CTR, is it the T or the R?
It's the T.
It's there still, the bridge, but...
I don't think the ship's there. I think they added the ship in.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I've done that so many times going for speedruns, and I do not remember a ship being there on OG.
I'll have a look at it now.
Yeah, we'll have a look at it, yeah. But I don't think there is.
But, yeah, it's definitely meh.
100%.
Yeah.
Deep sea driving. Again, many different opinions about this track, and like I said, leave what you change in the comments. It's probably gonna be everything, but it's fine. I'd like to read them all and see what's different.
I'll let you go first.
For me, it's a lot of fun. Once you know the rotations, it's a lot of fun. As long as there's no items. As soon as items come into it, you get hit, you have no idea where these blades are, you have to take wider lines, you have to go round, it's not as fun. I'd say decent. It would be better if items weren't a factor. That's
for me.
That's being generous to the track as well,
Yeah,
I'd say,
for
being
me,
decent.
Before I grinded it to get top 100,
Yeah.
get in the bin.
Okay. What would you say now, though?
Decent.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think it is a fun track. Once you get the hang of it, and there's a lot of you doing 5 laps on a private match, and you're all, even though you're 6 players, there's always everyone ruining the run somehow by hitting a wall, you know, losing fire randomly, hitting the blades, whatever. It just makes it so unpredictable and fun to drive. But everything else, I'm like, oh, it's a bit annoying. And everyone likes it online, everyone votes for it.
They do.
Always play it, and it's like, oh, can I play something else, please? But yeah, it's still decent. I like it a lot more than I used to.
Yeah, I totally agree. Boring to watch. Boring to play. Grab your pillows.
It's Dingo Canyon Day.
Yeah.
It is Dingo Canyon Day.
Get in the bin.
Aesthetically, they've done a good job.
I like the shortcut. That's the only bit of the track I like. Every other part of the track is like, nah, get out. Like, it's not good.
Yeah, it's difficult as well. The shortcut. It takes a bit of skill, this track, but that's all it's got going for it.
Yeah, it's
not.
I don't even like how it looks.
I like it. Just the little things you add to it. But
the thing is, in a canyon, how can you make a canyon look good? You can't. It just looks like how Dingo Canyon looks, really. Like, Sure, they added a diner to it, but you never see it because you're never turning left on a right-handed corner. So the next track, we are definitely not in disagreement.
And we're also not with everyone else.
God tier.
Yeah.
One of the best tracks in the game, if not the best track in the game for Luke, especially. Yeah, best track in the game when it comes to CTR. Sure, I'd agree with that.
Can I just show you, Ross?
Go on.
I'm just showing him the original,
There is actually a ship there.
and you can actually go on it. Yeah, in the original game, there is a pirate ship on the bridge.
You know what I'm mixing up? The Rouge Tube's portal.
Oh.
I'm just thinking of that, and there's no ship there, so I'm like, I thought of that, and then I fused them together with the T on the thing. I don't know why I did that.
Whatever.
Electron. We don't need to talk about Dragon Mines, do we? Why it's so good.
Oh well, we can quickly mention it.
We'd be mentioning it for half an hour, Luke, to be honest.
No. Mention.
Okay.
It's the most skill-based track in the game.
Yeah.
People hate the minecarts. I understand it. It's no different to the train in Android.
Just
Alley.
don't hit them.
If you want to go the shortcut, you just learn the you know, if there's no cart there, you're alright going for it.
Just U-turn.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to U-turn,
Practice.
play Turbo Track or Cortex Castle. Just keep going around the hedge. That's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep going around the hedge. It's great.
The spiral, if you're going that way, super fun. It's just a very difficult track. It's very skill based, and it's just so much fun.
The spiral, when you pull it off, if you don't go the shortcut, if you go the spiral and you pull it off, get a full U-turn, don't hit a wall.
One thing we haven't mentioned
So good.
is the soundtracks.
True.
Out of all those, I think my favourite soundtrack out of the ones, because all of them I'm not really keen on.
Yeah.
Dragon Mines is sick, and
Yeah.
Deep Sea Driving's sick as well.
Yeah.
But I still leave it as it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't change any
No.
because of soundtrack.
Yes, Android Alley. I mean, Electron Avenue. That is a good
Does have a good soundtrack.
It's a fun track.
The
to
track
play.
drives very well.
It
I
does.
like the shortcut. I'm not very good at it because I keep trying to go for the ramp to
It's
the
the one
bridge.
track that you have blue fire on all the time. It doesn't feel like you've got blue fire.
Is it because you got blue fire all the time though? Because if you make a mistake, it's not too costly, except for if you lose fire just after the shortcut, maybe.
Yeah.
Like if you get zapped. But even then, you don't guarantee yourself a loss.
No.
I think, as tracks go, as tracks are made, I'd say it's God tier.
It's because they've spent so much time on it. It was
Yeah.
one of the first ones they did, and they put so much time on. I think they removed.
It's not even yellow anymore. It was like yellow and blue and all that in the original. They changed it completely.
Changed the anti-grav section, and they did a very good job of it.
I think it flows super well.
It does. The gates are annoying, but that's just the same with any track. It's got to have some.
It's got to have
hazards
hazards, yeah.
It's one of them. It's like I'm not the biggest fan of it.
Have you noticed something like
What?
the ones with hazards on them tend to be higher up so far?
Yeah.
Which is
It's weird.
it is weird, but it's kind of good at the same time.
I don't think I'm putting it God tier, but it's upper very good. It's better than the others on the.
If you think it's upper very good, I think it's mid God tier.
Okay.
So I'd say low God tier.
Okay.
Then yeah.
We'll leave it there for now, and we
For
can
now,
change it.
yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely around there.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't argue with that.
See, Hot Air Skyway.
What
This
a
is-
track.
This is a tough one for me. In OG, I loved it
Mm-hmm.
because of all of the wacky shortcuts that you could do, all the broken ones. It was so much fun. This one, probably not as much. I still really enjoy the track. It's so much fun. Going around it with blue fire, doing like the cloud jump, doing the hairpin.
I think
It gives you a thrill, doesn't it, going around that track with
replacing
blue
the
fire.
wall shortcut in the original with the cloud jump and the U-turn, the
Hairpin.
hairpin.
I mean, the hairpin was in the
Yeah,
original,
I know, but it was not intended like.
and it wasn't actually faster unless you did it at lap 3.
Yeah.
Like if you do it at lap 1 and 2, it's slower.
Yeah. I think the track again aesthetically they couldn't do much to it. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's in the clouds.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like the whole casino in the sky sort of setting. I really rate it, but again, I'd do it the same with Electron. It'd be very high, very good.
I agree. I put it very high, very good. I wouldn't put it God tier though.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Hyperspace way. Me personally, I would have said get in the bin
Right.
back in the day
Okay.
because it's just a straight line. They got rid of the best section of the whole track, completely wiped it, and the other best section of the track was going on the outside of that tube with all the lasers and stuff. They've now made you go inside the tube. I think that's just boring. I don't like that. I prefer the original. So I'm still going to say get in the bin now that I've just talked myself into it. I still think it's kind of fun to drive, but they've completely butchered the track.
I like what they've done with it. Again, good soundtrack to it.
It does have a good soundtrack.
I'm glad you don't race Velo on it.
Why?
As in, like, a CNK adventure. Because having to forcibly play this track, it'd be too much for me. It's getting the bin.
Okay.
It's getting the bin. Like you say, it's a straight line. They just make you go through portals. At least Spiral Circuit, you actually go around a bit.
Anyone that disagrees with us in this, do me a favour. Play a game online on Hyperspace here when it next comes up. Use Turn Engine. Tell me how much fun you have on this track then. Once you're using Turn Engine on a straight line track, it is not fun in the slightest. Good luck winning that race. It's possible to win. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely possible, but no. No. Just no.
Not a fan. Ever will be a fan. They took out the best bit.
They did.
The anti-grav blue section.
The blue
with the
section.
Fire.
If you've never played CNK, go watch a video of the original CNK. Or go watch my video of my speedrun on CNK. You'll see it at the end.
They got rid of another Colosseum jump.
Yeah.
And they got rid of that section. That section was the best section in the track. If they got rid of, I don't know what section they'd probably get rid of instead.
They didn't need to get rid of a section,
No,
I don't
really.
think. It doesn't matter if the track's longer. It still wouldn't have been as long as Electron, I don't think. It would have been close. But
It's meant to be the boss track.
Yeah.
It's meant to be the last track.
it's
Yeah,
weird.
They ruined it for me.
Yeah. Completely ruined it, yeah. Inferno Island.
I don't think it's getting the bin, right?
Which one do you prefer? Crash Cove 1 or Crash Cove 2?
Weirdly, Crash Cove 1 has more going for it.
It does. There's more text, there's more interesting things about the track.
The interesting thing about Inferno is that ramp on the right hand side before the last corner, and that's way slower.
The only reason you take it is if you need fire.
It's just literally. It's almost like driving in straight lines. It's like a square.
You know the reason I like Crash Cove more? Is because the shortcut on the track actually saves time. The shortcut in Inferno, you'll be right on the ghost still. Like, you'll be ever
save a
slightly
frame.
behind. Yeah, it's like so tiny.
If you get
so
if you
minuscule.
get a really good cut on back onto the bridge, you save a frame.
Maybe a couple frames,
Yeah.
but it's like, that's not enough for it to be classed as a
Honestly,
shortcut.
I'm not a fan.
No, I'm
It's-
putting it meh.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd put it in the bin.
Really?
I just think it's
Oh no, I've just thought the hitboxes on the
it's
fences.
just a square.
Hitboxes on the fences.
Yeah.
Because they're like this. They're literally angled like this, and the hitbox is straight down. So if you go anywhere near the top of the fence that's sticking out, it counts as a hit, even if you haven't touched it, because it's at the bottom. It's so dumb. Definitely get in the bin because of that alone. It's the hitboxes.
Honestly, it's just a square.
Yeah, it's boring. Very boring. For sure. Jungle Boogie. I know what Luke's gonna say. Luke's gonna say God tier.
Okay. I want you to say it.
I'm gonna say decent.
Why?
Hitboxes.
Good hitboxes. Or
Bad hitboxes. Before they updated it.
Yeah,
They were really bad.
it was. Yeah. Anything else?
It's a tough one. The reason I put it decent is because I look at the tracks that are already in very good and I go, not as good, but it's close. So it's like top of decent for me.
I'd put it top of very good, almost god tier. I love the track. I think it's because it's super fast. The shortcut's fun. I think if we decide to do this Joker tournament, it's a perfect track for it. Amazing track for it. It's just that first wall cut. It's a bit of skill because you got to make sure you cut round the inside.
Yeah.
Again, if you're on time trial, it's super hard to save time unless you fully utilise it. And it takes skill. It's not a blue fire track. It's just literally you need to.
You're saying that blue fire tracks don't take skill?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it literally only relies on skill to do really well on it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
I'll go very good.
It's a super
I'll agree
fast
with you.
track. I think it's up there.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I've always loved it, especially on the original.
It's definitely not a bad track at all.
It's crunch track.
Yeah.
So it's what it is.
This one, I don't know what a lot of people think about this track. It's one of those ones that most people don't talk about that much. Actually, Meteor Gorge. There's some die-hard fans of Meteor Gorge that only play Meteor Gorge, and then there's people that just don't care.
Do you remember? It was left out of rotation.
That's true.
Off
the start of the game,
first 6
on
weeks.
online, it was like 6 full weeks. Meteor Gorge wasn't in online, and we had no idea why. It wasn't broken.
No.
We played it on. You could play it on single player. You could play it on time trial. All of this stuff when there was no leaderboards on time trial, so no one was grinding them. But
I forgot about that until we started doing this.
Yeah.
It got left out online, and don't know why.
I don't get it because I love the track. And the worst part was when they added it, people were like, "I don't care. I don't even know what this track is. I don't care. I'm not gonna race it." No one voted for it.
I think the CNK version was awful because if you touch the snow, you become to a hole. And one of the CNK letters was way off.
True. I remember that.
I think the CTR they've done the same, but
but
you can
it's faster on this now, so yeah.
This version is still not my favourite version of the track though. The GBA version, which was as long as Hot Air Skyway or something like that, and it was such a long track.
Really?
It was massive.
Mad.
You can look it up. Type in on YouTube the Meteor Gorge Game Boy Advanced CNK version. It's super long. I don't like the track.
Okay.
I think the snow bit's are a bit temperamental for me. I can't be very consistent on it. It's hard to be consistent. You can get a good run, you can get lucky, whatever. I like the little shortcut on it. It basically channels it for you. You can see it, you jump onto it and it brings it around. It's a good shortcut, good again for the Joker sort of races that you want to do.
Yeah.
But I'm not the biggest fan.
My issue with the track is it's not very replayable for me.
It's not.
I can't sit there and grind it like on time trial for very long. Maybe an hour max. I did it for 7 hours in one stream once to get a 121, and I got it, but I didn't actually feel like I like achieved something good. It was just like, so what sort of thing. I'm gonna go.
It's not getting the bin.
No, it's better than these.
Yeah, 100%.
Mystery Caves. This is one track that I am gonna say is highly underrated.
100% agree.
I put it in very good because the track just flows super well, and my controller is dead. Oh well. The track flows super well.
Can I choose something different?
Go on then.
I almost want to put it in God tier. I think even on the original, it's one of my favourite tracks. It's probably the most forgotten track out of the original tracks, apart from maybe Turbo Track. I think it's an amazing track. Like you say, it flows so well. The shortcut's difficult.
Is there anything wrong with Mystery Caves?
No, well...
That's what I'm trying to think right now.
The hitbox of the fireballs. Other than that, no.
What's wrong with the hitbox of the fireballs?
Sometimes it can not even touch you and you get hit.
I don't know. That's never happened to me.
I feel like it happens to me
and
a lot.
I've played it a lot.
Maybe it's just me then. But I still rate it like very highly.
I think it's a sick track. I'm gonna put it God tier. I agree. Most people won't agree with that because they're not, they're not huge fans of the track.
It was fun to time trial in the original. It's fun to time trial now, and it's fun to play online.
Yeah.
It covers all the boxes.
You see,
it's got a good soundtrack.
It does, yeah. I really enjoy it.
It ticks all the boxes for me, so
yeah.
it can't not be in God tier.
There's texts that make you slightly faster, which hopping up hills and all this stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
Engine Labs.
Android Labs. Straight off, before we even talk about anything, it can't be any less than very good.
I agree. For me personally, best track in Hub 4.
Yes.
In this game,
yes.
Best track in Hub 4. I wouldn't say so on OG. I'd say I'd prefer Oxide.
I'd probably disagree, but very, very similar. Very close.
I'm putting this God tier.
I think it's God tier as well.
It's so fun to play. I could play this track
all day,
15 hours in a day, and still want to keep playing it.
Yeah.
Even if my hands were dead, I could just keep playing it and try and push for a higher time. Yeah.
Again, amazing soundtrack. Probably top 5 in soundtracks.
Oh yeah.
So it gets you pumping and keeps wanting to go. And then you got the tunnel section.
Yeah.
What a beautiful thing that is to drive through. Even the original, it was just like pretty crazy to drive through. But yeah, it's such a good track.
Yeah, I can't think of anything bad about Engine Labs.
The square thing, spiral section.
Yeah, that is so satisfying to get fun. Like perfect where you go right around the inside.
And for casual players, it's a challenge and it's still enjoyable.
Yeah.
I'm sure. It's such a fun track to fly around with Blue Fire. So much fun.
Grind for that 209.
I need to.
Such a fun track to grind.
Oot.
Onto a track that's not very fun to grind.
Oot.
My problem with this track is it's too hard to hold fire.
It is. The walls are too narrow.
For 98% of players, they will never have held fire around the whole track on this track.
It's very narrow in sections. It's very, very difficult.
And remember all the horrible hitboxes that used to be in the game? There's still some bad ones on the track too. Like you used to just bonk on nothing. And
the Blue Fire pad.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it's honestly, it is the worst track for being poorly made when it comes to hitboxes.
Not the biggest fan of the soundtrack. It's okay, but it is Big Norm's track. I know.
That doesn't bother me. I'm putting it in the bin.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's... I think it had potential to be way better, but the way it was actually raced... In the original, I preferred the clock, yeah. They've made it worse.
They got rid of the worm hazards as well.
Yeah. That's another thing. It's
worse than the original.
Yeah, the worst part is... I know that worm hazards being in the game would annoy me more, but I feel like the track is actually better with hazards.
Yeah, the only hazard is...
falling off.
And the windmill.
Yeah, and that's not even a hazard because you can go down the left side and not hit it.
I think it's meh.
I'm putting it in the bin.
Really? Okay.
It's not fun. That's the main reason. This is Android Station. What we saying, Luke? What are you gonna say for this? I'll let you take the lead on this one.
I don't think there's much to say on it. I think it's just very good.
I think there's no shortcut compared to the original.
So you can actually go through the massive jump.
Yeah.
Fun to do with Blue Fire. If you can hold Blue Fire all the way around, when you eventually get that knack after practicing, super satisfying.
I will add this. The relic is really fun. Holding Blue Fire on the whole thing and getting those relics is so difficult, but it's so much fun to do if you pull it off.
Yeah.
I will say though, the ring rally is horrid. It is the worst ring rally in the entire game for getting those rings. That's why I'm only going to put it very good. I would put it God tier normally, because I think the track is insane, and you need so much skill to get around without losing fire and get a good time. But yeah, it's very good because of the ring rally personally. And I think it needs a shortcut somewhere. Even if it's only a small one, like... There's no shortcut. Like, the track needs a shortcut. It's a kart racer. It needs a shortcut.
At least some sort of cut, yeah.
Yeah. So
Nearly, it's
very
on
good.
the verge of being god tier, but it's a solid, very good.
Yeah. Speaking of god tier, Papu's Pyramid.
You're putting it god tier.
I think it is one of the most satisfying tracks to
This
get right.
was the first track they did.
Yeah.
Aesthetically,
I think this track is perfect.
I think aesthetically, what they've done compared to the original when they were showing off in the trailers, best track. Aesthetically, in the entire game, to look at what they've done, best
Yeah.
by far. Okay, maybe not by far, but definitely best. Soundtrack, brilliant.
Yep.
Shortcuts, stuck to it.
It's perfect for shortcuts. There's so
So
many
much fun.
shortcuts.
It fits perfect with the Crash Bandicoot theme.
Yep.
Sort of style. Yeah, I know that a lot of people don't really like it that much. I kind of fell off a bit in terms of enjoying it for a while, and
Yeah.
then I started playing it a bit again, and then really enjoyed it. I still prefer like how it feels in the original.
See, I don't. I really don't. I think this track feels insane. I think it's the best made track
Okay.
in the game. It's not my favorite track, but I think the way it's been designed, and even just like when it comes down to reserves, it's so difficult to hold reserves, but it
Takes
feels
skill.
really rewarding. Does the track?
I'm trying to find a ways to not put it in God tier, Ross, and I can't really.
there's
I'm kind of
there's a
cheating
few
myself.
little things, but it's even got hazards. It's even got
It's got
plants.
proper
Like,
plants. And it's got the new cool shortcut.
yeah,
It
exactly.
takes a lot of skill. If they somehow had the wall, it would ruin it for me.
Yeah, because I
They
mean,
left the wall in the original, and that's a great idea.
I'm so glad that they've taken it out of
Ultra
this.
cuts out like
yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm happy with it in God tier.
I can't put it any lower than God tier. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'd
Honestly,
fight for that track for days.
I tried, but it's just look at the image. It looks sick when it loads up, and you've got the plant teaching its little baby plants, and it's like, oh, they've thought of everything. They've got the guy rowing up the waterfall.
Yeah, that is the best bit of the whole track, by
You
the
got
way.
the guy
The
on the
vertical
the guy on the
waterfall, and he's just
start
going
line.
like, yeah.
Getting attacked by a lion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've done an amazing job on it, and it's so fun to play.
Right, well, we'll move on to the next track. Otherwise, this video is going to be longer than the character one.
Yeah.
Polar Pass,
One of your favourites.
definitely one of my favourites.
I'm not as big a fan.
Okay.
I think I find it more difficult holding reserves sometimes. And I know a lot of people worse than us might not enjoy the track, or they might enjoy the track. I don't know.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Aesthetically, it's not much different to the original because they can't change it that much.
True. But does it need to be changed?
No, not really.
I
I
like
like the new shortcut.
the new shortcut. They got rid of the wall. The wall isn't a thing anymore.
It
which-
wasn't Day Zero
exactly,
in the beta. It was a thing, but
but only with a mask.
Yeah.
So I want to put it God tier
it's
again.
not God tier.
Are we gonna put it very good then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would put it as decent to very good.
See, for me, it's on par with Labs or Cave. But because you want to put it very good, that's fine.
I want to scroll up a little bit because
There we go. That's better. Rouge Tubes. This one is a very, very tough one.
I still preferred it in the original though.
I'm
I like
going
what they've done.
meh at max. The reason being, I hate the track online. It's so RNG. It's literally whoever gets the best items wins. The new tech, snowballing, or whatever they've called it, it's so dumb. People are getting 1 minute ones, 1 minute times. Like, that's just ridiculous. I think the track has been so broken over the time. Remember the one where you went through the wall, like,
Yeah.
no clipped through it? Like,
Yeah.
it's just not that fun of a track. I like it without any of that, without the speed
Playing
ghost,
casually,
without any
yeah.
of the, glitches.
And even the light on the last corner going in the inside is a bit more temperamental than the original. I can see it in the original. Very good track.
Yeah, Yeah, for sure. I
Got little
love
speed goes down and stuff.
love
and
time trialing it on
fun,
that. Yeah.
Super fun. But yeah, on this, it's been hit too much by the users.
You basically have to hit walls to go fast on that
Yeah,
track, and it makes
yeah.
zero sense. I don't like tracks that are so glitched that you have to do it to get.
Everyone keeps voting for it.
I know.
All the casuals keep voting for it, so I don't want to play it.
Yeah, I honestly I back out now if I find that track. Another track that's very hated on actually, Sewer Speedway.
Pre-big update.
Yeah, it was
Get in the bin.
right off the start of the game. You couldn't even beat Oxide's time unless you got super lucky and got the shortcut 3 times, because, I mean, people weren't fast enough to beat Oxide's Ghost without the shortcut when it first came out. But
Now I can see why Hodge likes it so much.
I really like it now. I put it at least decent just because of how it was at the start.
Yeah.
I can't put it any higher than decent.
Really?
Yeah, like decent is perfect for it.
I
for
think
me.
perfect's decent, but I thought you might argue for very good. But yeah, I'd say decent. I think it's super fun, satisfying when you go, like half pipe sort of style. It's fun. It's
Yeah,
a
but
good track.
my problem is it still annoys me when I get squished, and it still happens to this day. Even if I know the cycles, I still get
think
squished.
the hitbox is a bit dodgy as well.
Oh yeah, the barrel hitboxes are awful. They never changed them. They're
that's
still
a
really bad.
decent. So Hodge, you're very lucky because they fixed the track, so it would be getting the bin.
Slide Coliseum.
For me, meh, or getting the bin.
Totally agree. I got meh.
It's boring.
It's pretty boring. I quite like it for Ring Rally and Relic.
Oh yeah, because you actually get.
Because you actually get to go to the wide parts of the track. Again, it's a lot like Coco Park. There's a lot of wide parts that you never go to. You always just go right around the inside. Which is why I think it's perfect to be in meh with Coco Park. I think they're both pretty boring. You
can boost for 2.5 laps constantly, and then you miss a boost, and then you lose fire.
Yeah, it's
so frustrating.
Yeah, it is very frustrating.
Frustrating to time trial. I hate time trial on it. I don't want to get top 100 on it really, but I'm gonna have to.
I can show you how to do it.
It's just easy. So annoying.
Well, it's not easy, but like I know the method.
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I don't think we need to really say anything about that.
The first of the new.
Yeah, I don't know why this is here. We should really we'll move it.
We'll move it towards the end.
We'll put it like there, whatever. The most broken track ever in the game might even be getting a new shortcut soon. I watched a video where someone almost made a new shortcut. They were this close to making the track on a new, and they said new world record coming soon on the video. I think this track is so fun to drive, but it has been broken so many times. It's just decent for me. It would be very good if it wasn't so broken, like for most of the game.
Yeah.
Like I have a 12-second time, but then I can no longer use my ghost against me in time trial anymore because I did the glitch to try and get top page, which I got. But like,
for me, soundtrack.
One of the best soundtracks in the game. 100%.
Aesthetically, like the whole theme of it with the rain and the thunder and all that, super sick.
Yeah, I think they made the track look so good compared to how it looks in CNK. I think CNK looked very naff.
The storm was too much. You couldn't see where you were going.
Yeah,
half the time. On this it's a bit different.
They've completely made it sick.
Worst track in the game for me.
What?
By far the worst track.
You say get in the bin.
I say get in the bin. 100% get in the bin. I hate the track
because of all the glitches.
Not
and
just
stuff.
that. I think
there's still the glitch shortcut. That Thorns jump thing. That's not meant to be in the game.
Yeah,
they just haven't fixed it.
Just sometimes the hitboxes of the spinning blades and stuff, and it's just.
I think
I do not enjoy it.
As much as I like the track, I think morally I have to put it in get in the bin because of how broken it was.
It's ruined the game.
Yeah,
for me.
It's not like you hate the game. That's not what you mean.
No,
by
I mean
that,
it's ruined
the track. Yeah. The track has completely been ruined.
I do not ever want to play it.
Yeah. Okay.
When I beat the dev time,
I
lost fire. They overtook me and fell off. I crawled over the line. I said, I'm not doing that again.
Fair.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah, that's fair. I can understand that.
When they took it out of rotation, so glad.
Yeah.
I was so happy.
Right, well the next one is Tiger Temple.
Sick track. I think it's a great track. The stocking track.
Are we fishing again, like? Are we fishing again?
Whoa.
How many people hate this track?
I don't know.
Like online, this track is awful.
Yeah.
Because it's RNG with the items.
Cursor, I played it twice yesterday,
Yeah.
and I used bombs to try and open the shortcut. Didn't work.
Which you just miss.
I hit it at the door. Didn't open. That's
dear.
the thing that ruins the track for me.
You know what ruins the track for me? The grass cut.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's so inconsistent. Trying to get that 3 laps in a row, good luck getting that fast.
If you're not doing that, if you're just going around like you used to in the original, just going around and then cutting across, like hopping, and then if you have a portion, you go for the shortcut. If you just go the long way around, it's a fun track to play.
Yeah.
Right. I like trying to keep fire through the straight bits with the fire. Fun hazard to try and get around. But that just pushes it into meh for me. I still think the fact that why don't bombs work on the... Sometimes I've had a bubble and it hasn't worked.
I mean, if you don't shoot the bubble, it doesn't work.
Well, yeah, obviously, as I shot the bubble and it's just like blown up at the because there's a little lip. If you look at the bottom of the door, there's a little bit under it. Seems to hit that and it doesn't open sometimes.
Okay, well, we'll get it in the bin.
I put it in. I said meh at best.
I think it's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tracks in Get in the Bin, you know. A lot of tracks. This is bad. We think that there's more tracks in Get in the Bin than God Tier. But
there's still ones to come though.
There are still ones to come. Speaking of which, Tiny Arena. This is a track that I used to hate off the start of the game, and over the months it's getting higher and higher and higher and higher.
I agree.
And I'm at least putting it very good. I'm not very good at it, don't get me wrong. I mean, I say that, I've got a 250, which is really fast. But compared to the people at the top, it's so far off. But I like the amount of skill difference there is in the track. If you check the leaderboards, there's so much of a time difference between first and top 100.
Yeah.
Like, masses of seconds.
It's fun to play online.
Yeah.
I'd put very good as well.
Yeah, I think definitely has to be very good. There we go. We got an extra layer now. There we go. Next track is Android Alley. It's Tiny Temple. What are we thinking? I'm thinking 1 blue fire pad. It's very, very fast blue fire as well, which actually works against the track.
Yeah.
Because what that means is you're going to be even further behind if you lose fire. But the one thing that saves it from getting the bin for me is that you control people and change the fire while they're going through it. I think that's sick. That you can be right behind them and just hit them with the fire.
I like the soundtrack. I like the theme of it. I'd put it decent.
I'd put it meh.
I think...
Simply because it's a bit boring. It's a bit of an oval.
If I look at decent, I go, right, there's Barren Ruins there, there's Cortex, there's Deep Sea, and then there's Sewer. And then there's Tiny Temple. No, it doesn't work.
No, it's definitely meh, isn't it? It's definitely with Cocoa Park, Crash Cove, Meteor.
It's probably upper them, like above them.
Yeah, personally, I'd put Slide above and then Tiny Temple second, right as what we've got right now.
Okay.
I put Slide first. In meh.
Yeah.
But I put Slide first, then like Tiny Temple second. So, yeah, it's definitely upper meh for sure. Turbo Track.
Get in the bin.
I'd go decent, you know, but that's only because you can't do it because you use analog. If you use D-pad, you'd be fine.
I don't like using D-pad. I'm representing the casuals as well.
You are.
They don't like this track.
I'm not representing casuals. I'm not a casual. I've played the game far too much.
Well, I'm not representing casuals. I'm just taking into consideration.
We're gonna have to put it meh, aren't we? Because we won't agree.
I don't like it.
Just know, guys, it's decent.
It's not. It's meh at best.
It's decent. Twilight Tour. Toilet. Where are we putting the toilet?
I like it a lot more than I used to.
Okay.
It's still boring though.
That's my one issue with it.
Extent.
The way it looks is boring. There's not. I think it's one of the most boring looking tracks in the game.
I think it's a very unique idea though, having day and night in the same track. I
True.
think that's very cool. But
the way it drives is
too
very
wide.
boring. Yeah.
Very wide.
You know what my issue with it is? Second blue fire pad with that tiny little ramp.
Yeah.
One item, you lose. And if you lose fire there, you have to do a full 360 turn around, go get it again, and you could get hit again.
Yeah.
I'm putting it in the bin. I think it's an awfully designed track, and I lose on it a lot.
I can't put it in get in the bin because it's better than all those.
For me personally, it's not. But we're gonna have a lot of tracks in get in the bin if we put it in get in the bin.
I put it in there.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it in meh, and I'm gonna move out of time up to meh.
Yeah.
Because I don't think out of time is on the level of these.
No.
Just.
I think it's meh. Maybe decent at a push, but it's not getting the bin for me.
Yeah, okay. Nina's.
Go on, I'll let you go first.
Very good. At the bottom of very good. I'm very willing to go decent.
Yeah, because I was going to put it meh.
Yeah, so I definitely put it decent. The reason I really like it is because of just how it looks and how it drives.
Oh yeah, aesthetically it's very good. I like the
Speed
soundtrack.
Ghost is a bit irritating, the fact that it's actually in the game, but it's kind of skillful at the same time. Like, you need a lot of reserves to do it lap 2 and 3.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, you got to do some dumb tech. You just jump down a hill. Like, it's not that bad. So yeah, that's fine. I'd be happy to put it in either of these. It's more of in the middle for me, like in the middle of very good and decent.
Decent for me, but I'm happy with decent. It's better than some of the metrics.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
it's probably.
It's not boring, is it? I think that's the thing. It's not boring.
I don't mind playing the track.
Yeah.
At all.
If that gets voted for, I'd never back out if it gets picked. And compared to almost probably every track underneath it, maybe not Turbo because I put it like decent.
When you're not playing Speed Ghost online on private matches and stuff, it's fun.
Yeah.
Fun to play against other people.
For sure.
Yeah. Unlike Out of Time, which is an absolute nightmare against other people.
Yes, which is why it's in bottom and there for me. But a track that again, it's a weird one because I think this track made a lot of people leave the game. I think some people really like this track, and I don't know where I stand on this track. I'm not gonna lie. You think it's getting the bin?
Yeah, I think online, dreadful.
I remember before it was fixed, some of those edges on this track, like, you know, when you used to, you know, that first little shortcut where you jump for the Wumper crate.
Yeah.
Sometimes you bonk and you just fall into the abyss. Like, how unfair is that when you jump normally?
What ruins this for me, other than the fact that online it's dreadful, the placements of the blue fire pads are next to each other.
That's true.
Right at the end and right at the start of the track.
Yeah.
If they have one in the middle.
Yeah. The only thing that's good about this track is the artwork.
Yeah, the cosmetics of it.
It's too long.
Yeah, it is.
It's far too long. I think with a track that's that boring, because quite frankly it is boring. There's not a lot of
boring, yeah.
There's not a lot of like cool techs or turns that you can do on it. It's just a bit boring, to be honest.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm going to get in the bin.
It's different to like Thunderstruck is such a good looking track, but it's just so bad in terms of what's happened and it's just no.
So the next track is Epilepsy Carnival, which I'm not even letting you speak. It's going and getting the bin. You can't.
Can I speak?
Okay, got to. Cool.
Good idea. Extremely poorly executed. Like, what is the point?
In an oval.
No. The ovals. I understand ovals, right?
I don't
What is the point
ovals.
in the section with the fire spurt things when they're like a figure of 8? Who's going around the outside?
No one.
No one. There's no benefit to it at all. It's so dumb.
The only reason they did it is for Ring Rally. And you know why they did it for Ring Rally?
Because that's when it came out.
Because there's literally rings in the track. It was literally when Ring Rally came out. They made the track around Ring Rally. They made it as like a starter track for Ring Rallies, basically, didn't they? They made it as like this is your tutorial.
So they made it Koala Carnival, right?
Yeah.
Where's the relevance to Koala Kong, really? It's not really a circus.
He had
animal.
a circus skin.
Cool.
A wrestler skin as well. Who cares?
He could have had another like volcanic mine sort of track, like his.
Yeah, true.
Boss level.
Yeah.
That'd have been way more fun, but no, they're
a bit like Dragon Mines, but better. Make a better track than Dragon Mines. Go on.
Good luck.
Good luck. You didn't make a track anywhere near as good as Dragon Mines, and then.
Hang on. No. Keep going. Right, so next.
Spyro Circuit is the next one.
Very good for me.
Really.
Yeah. The only thing that lets it down that I put it in decent is the item placement through the portal.
I'm going decent. I like the track. Let me let the cat out because
we can still chat. So we're just leaving it as decent then. Yeah. Gingerbread.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not having it.
You are having it.
No, I'm not.
It's going God tier. It's the best track in the game.
It's not the best track in the game.
It is. It's the best track in the game.
It's not the best track. It's one of the.
Explain to me how it's not the best track in the game.
Right. So first of all, the blue fire pad.
Yeah. What about it?
There's only one. So if someone
Cool.
hits you or something, or if you graze a wall that you don't even graze, you've lost fire. Right.
I mean, that doesn't happen on that track anymore.
Second of all, it does. It's happened to me. Second of all, the jellies.
It's literally a hazard.
It takes up all the bloody track though.
Yeah. Well, you just learn the rotation.
Sometimes it's not as easy as that.
Of course it is.
Yeah, well, you've played it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So of course.
I'm not letting you talk me out of this. This is God tier no matter what you say. I mean, you're allowed your opinion, but I'm leaving it God tier on here. Like, you can say wherever you want to put it.
Fine, but you got to appreciate what I'm coming from here.
I'm deleting any comments. No, I'm kidding. I'm
The
not.
Christmas theme, I can deal with, right? You know, it came out.
That's
Christmas.
probably the worst part of the track for me. The Christmas theme. I just love the track and the way it drives. I think it's the best track in the way it drives in the whole game.
I think the shortcut section could have been made a bit better for me.
I think there's two shortcuts. There's some corner cuts. There's some hazards. There's some really difficult corners, like going through the first section, going up to the blue fire, like holding your fire through there, getting perfect U-turns. So satisfying. Best track in the game for me. Nothing comes close. Dragon Mines is probably my second favourite track in the game, and I don't even think it's close. But that's biased, that's my opinion. That's
a push, right?
But that's what we're doing. We're doing our opinion, right?
I think I'm pretty harsh on the track. But at the same time, when I played it
you
online,
got decent, weren't you?
At best.
Wow.
Because normally, originally, when I first started playing it, I'd put it in the bin. I'd put it in decent, for me.
Okay. Well, it's staying God tier, but
yeah, like you said. But for me, it's a decent at highest.
Okay. Next one. I cannot let you put it any lower than decent. It's Megamix.
I think for me, it feels exactly the same as Gingerbread.
Okay.
Hated it right at the start. Decent at best.
The only reason why I say you cannot put it any lower than decent, best soundtrack in the entire game.
It's got an amazing soundtrack.
I think
top 5 soundtrack without question.
For me, best soundtrack in the game, and I'm gonna put it decent for that. I'm not too keen on the way the track drives, but just for the soundtrack alone.
For me personally, I don't see how you can put Gingerbread God tier and Megamix decent. If you put Megamix God tier, I'd understand more because it's basically the same track for me.
It's not though.
Different skin.
Where's the 90-degree turns?
In what?
Megamix.
In the after the dirt cut on the.
You mean
grating.
the shortcut? So there's two 90-degree turns in the whole track.
Yeah, if you don't go a shortcut. It's
the shortcut is a 90-degree turn.
Remixed.
The shortcut is a 90-degree turn, which means that there's two.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's basically.
Whereas Gingerbread has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into the shortcut. One round there, that's probably 7. You could say the shortcut over the snow is a 180-degree turn. Like, it's so much more.
Half of the track is
technical.
Rouge tubes that's come up into the surface.
That's why I'm not a big fan. Because it's just reskinned Rouge tubes off the start. It's like
half Gingerbread, half Rouge tubes. That's what it is.
Well, sure, it should be very good then. Like,
oh,
I'm putting it decent. We're keeping it decent just for the soundtrack. Drive-through. Honestly, I prefer drive-through to Megamix.
drive-through is way better than gingerbread.
No, it's not. Stop lying.
I'm not lying.
You are lying.
At the start,
Gingerbread is the best track in the game. You can't even deny it.
well, I'm not talking about it anymore.
Okay.
Drive-through, I was like, oh, what is this track? It's so difficult. So first day, I was trying to beat the devs. I did it backwards, the devs. So I started on drive-through
Right.
to get good at it, and it took me a while because I just jumped straight on. I wasn't really warmed up or anything, and then I kept falling off, and I was like, oh man. And then once you start learning the tech and where to cut and getting all the boosts in the right places, doing the right U-turns in the right places, super satisfying.
Yeah.
What a fun track. The best one they've made by far.
Second best.
So I'm putting it very good.
I can totally agree. That's exactly where I was going to put it. I think it's
I think it's an upper half of very good for me.
I'd say it's middle.
I'd say it's as
Middle,
good
very good.
as like I don't know. I'll put Paul lower down. I think it's better than Android and Assembly. It's probably just under Hot Air and
Oh yeah.
Oxide for me.
Before we move on and end it, the reason I don't like Megamix as much as Gingerbread is because there's too many hazards.
Yeah, there is.
There's far too many
Those
paint
things are horrible.
It's ridiculous. Which is why I like the one hazard.
I'd like Gingerbread more if there was another hazard in it.
Really? What would you want in it though? You wouldn't want more jellies, would you? You don't
No.
like the jellies.
No.
You'd want a different.
I'd change the
hazard.
jellies.
Yeah.
I'd probably put like, I don't know.
A gingerbread man going like this with an axe.
Oh, something like that, yeah. Or
across the
like
track.
ice cream falling onto the track.
Oh yeah, that would be
You know
sick.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's when they got the goop and it falls on top, so you have to go around it and stuff.
Don't get me wrong, I like the jellies, but I think that would be cooler and better for the
something
track.
different. I mean, the jellies are annoying for me, and I do give the track more hate than it probably deserves. I just don't have. I don't think I've ever had a fun race online on it.
That's fair. I can respect it.
And then Retro Stadium is just getting the bin because it's Turbo Track again. We didn't need it.
So there we go, guys. Thank you for watching.
I don't think I'd change anything else.
I wouldn't change any of these, to be honest.
I would.
Perfect.
But we're not. We'll end it.
As a... Yeah, let's not talk about Gingerbread anymore. Thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments.
Please do.
I'd love to hear about all the discussions and arguments and people pulling each other's hair out.
And there'll be another tier list coming up soon.
Yeah, there will.
We're doing carts, aren't we?
We are doing carts, if we can find one anyway.
I'm sure there is one.
Keep you up to date on that one. Thank you for watching. See you on the 7th. Will be the next video.
See you
Take
later.
it easy.
Bye.